Defying medical odds, a life-changing encounter with a hospital housekeeper who says, "Is diabetes or chronic kidney disease a concern for you? Any other kind of chronic illnesses too? Is your healthcare provider telling you deterioration into full kidney failure, dialysis, and death are the only realistic outcomes? That anything else is impossible?" I say, don't believe them. Hi, my name is Magda, and I am a registered nurse now with an awesome primary care and nephrology team who have made such a difference in my health. How, you may ask? You have to hear the story about this beautiful woman named Rita. Rita worked as a hospital housekeeper in the rural community where she lived. She came into the patient's room, smiled at her, and started mopping the floor. This was one of several rooms on Rita's assignment that day, but when the doctor came in and started talking with the patient, Rita dropped her mop and fled from the room, only to return sometime later with a translucent crystal angel she placed in the patient's palms. From the exchange between the doctor and the patient, Rita learned the patient had come to the hospital the day before because she was no longer urinating. The patient knew that losing the ability to urinate meant that her kidney failure had progressed rapidly. Any residual kidney function or hope was either lost or going very fast. Then she discovered something amazing about her diabetes control and potential residual kidney function still remain. For about a week or two prior to her hospital admission, her blood sugar numbers were so much better, with minimal to no blood sugar spikes after each meal. She was able to tolerate, that is. The problem, though, was the nausea and vomiting had increased since she started peritoneal dialysis, or PD. So on admission to the hospital emergency department, the doctors in the ED started her on half-normal saline with a little potassium in the IV, and suddenly the patient began urinating normal amounts with great color. The patient was elated and shared this information with her kidney doctor who visited the next morning. "See, I still have residual kidney function. I put out 2,400 cc's of urine in the emergency room and another 1,800 overnight on this unit. And I also just put out another 600 cc's this morning," the patient said excitedly. "What does that mean?" The doctor's response was swift and curt. "It means nothing. You are a dialysis patient? I think I will stop the IV fluid right away. They shouldn't have started you on IV in the emergency room." The patient pleaded for the doctor to continue the IV fluid, even at a lower rate per hour, to correct the dehydration and potentially improve her kidney function. But the doctor was adamant. "Who is the doctor here?" he insisted. The doctor was dismissive and decided to stop the IV fluids for rehydration immediately. He told the patient her residual kidney functions did not matter because she had already started dialysis, and besides, kidney functions just did not come back. But the patient continued to insist maybe he could just try for another day or two, see what happened. Then they could do labs. She had been vomiting a lot and could hardly tolerate most fluids since starting PD weeks before. The doctor was totally dismissive when the patient tried to connect the dots between nausea and vomiting, dehydration, and loss of urine output. Dehydration, he laughed at the patient and told her to stop meddling in medical affairs. He directed her to accept her condition, her kidneys had failed, and stop searching for false hope. That was when Rita dropped the mop and ran from the room. Rita knew she had to do something. As Rita closed the patient's hands around the crystal angel, this beautiful woman told the patient she had just bought the angel from the hospital gift shop as a token for the patient to always remember, quote, "When no one believes in you, look at this angel as a reminder that there's always hope. For God believes in you. You are still here. No one should ever speak to you the way the doctor did." The encounter with this beautiful woman working as a hospital housekeeper was life-changing. Lessons Rita taught. 1. That you have the power to defy medical odds. You have no expiration date. Medical knowledge is constantly improving for those healthcare providers who decide to make use of new learning. 2. Be your own advocate. Become actively engaged in your care for the best health outcomes. 3. If your doctor or healthcare team refuse to consider your own health beliefs, if your doctor or healthcare team refuse to consider your own health beliefs, perceptions, fire them. There are other healthcare providers who will factor your health beliefs and perceptions into your plan of care. 5. Engaged patients get the best healthcare outcomes. Get engaged in your care. Today, I stand here as a living proof that with resilience and hope, you can achieve the impossible. Just over a year ago, I was able to get my GFR up from 20s and 30s to over 100. You have to see my most popular YouTube video on Inspirational Kidney Health Coach linked below. So, I invite you, join me as we embark on this transformative journey with practical steps you can take to improve your health with or without diabetes and CKD. Remember, stay hopeful, stay vigilant, engaged patients get the best health outcomes. Keep cutting off.